Hi guys, and welcome to a slightly blustery afternoon here in Dubai. I hope you can hear me all right. We're here, of course, with the new 2018 Chevrolet Traverse. Now, the Traverse sits above the new Equinox in the Chevy SUV range and just below the Tahoe. In fact, it's almost the size of a Tahoe, to be quite honest with you. The car has actually grown by an inch, although it's 50 kilograms lighter than before. And again, in terms of dimensions, it's actually longer and slightly wider than the Toyota Land Cruiser, so a fairly big beast. And the looks have been completely restyled. It's got certainly a beefier, bolder look about it, and the grille is sort of a widened version, a taller version of what we've seen before on the Impala and the Malibu. Under the bonnet is a reworked version of the 3.6-litre V6, now with 10% more power, puts out 310 brake horsepower, and it's mated to a 9-speed automatic. Great for economy, that. And this car, of course, the one that you see here being the car that they've given to the press, is known as the High Country trim. Now, the High Country trim, this is the first time it's been seen by us outside of the Silverado, which is what it normally sits on the back of. And basically what that means is that it's the range-topping car, comes with all the features, driver assist features, 20-inch rims, double sunroof, and all-wheel drive as standard. And that car is priced in the UAE, and these are manufacturer-recommended retail prices, at 183,058 dirhams, not including VAT. But even so, considering the size of the car, the roominess of it, the practicality, and all the kit that you get on it, I think that's a pretty good price. But if you think that's good, the muzzle range actually starts at 117,000 dirhams, which is $32,000 for the LS front-wheel drive version. Again, manufacturer recommended retail prices and not including VAT. And whilst I'm here, I'll also give you the price for the LT front-wheel drive, which is 120,000 dirhams, which is $33,000. Now, there's also an LT Premier. Now, the LT Premier actually replaces the LTZ now in the trim. So that's the one that sits below this one. And that's priced at 151,000 dirhams, which is $41,000. Again, front-wheel drive, not including VAT. Now, to be honest, to add the four-wheel drive, it's another 7,000 to 8,000 dirhams. So it's not a huge premium. Personally, if I was you, I'd put in the extra amount and get the four-wheel drive version. The car, in this guise, the High Country and the Premier comes as a 7-seater with 2 individual chairs in the middle row, but you can get it as an 8-seater on the lower trims, which with a full-length middle row seat. So it's a really practical and spacious car. In fact, let's start by looking at that. As usual, I'm going to walk to the boot now. So back here, there's a very interesting little feature that if you approach the car at night and you've got the key fob in your pocket, then it detects you and it projects a little logo just here under the bumper. And the idea behind that is it tells you where you can swing your foot in order to open the tailgate. I won't try that now because I've opened and closed it a few times, so probably won't do that. I'll just use a double click on the key fob itself. Look at all the sensors on here and the cameras. This does, of course, have 360 camera, and it's got, you know, all of these parking sensors and everything. Back here, it's a very spacious boot. Look at this. Quite a lot of capacity, considering that it's got 3 rows of seats and could be a 7 to an 8-seater. And of course, you've got hooks on that side. You've got a power supply. This one here is a power supply. Hooks also on this side, and that's just for the parcel shelf should you want it. But in addition to that, what's this? Whoa! Another massive bin just under there. That is a considerable amount of extra space, and if you need even more space, then you can drop these split folding 60/40 rear seats, the 3rd row seats, and you can do that just by pressing these buttons. So if I press that, look how quickly that goes down. That's actually pretty quick. The only reason it's slowed down is because of the seat in front of it. And let's see this one go down. Look at that. Look how quickly that went down. And then look how much space you've got freed up back there. So actually, you know, you're pretty van-like dimensions in here. The question is, what's the rear seating like? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's go back there and check it out. Wow, check this out. Tons of room back here. You know what? Actually, I should come in from that side, and I'll tell you why when I get there. Let me just close this one. The reason being is that on this side there's this lever here, which we don't have on that side, this being the side that is closest to the pavement. So for the sake of the passengers, this lever here is just one movement and the whole seat just moves forward like that, leaving quite a nice open space here to get into the back. So actually let's try that. Let's get into the back from here, shall we? Oh, slides forward actually, so I need to put that much effort into it. And back here, right, it's more so, well, I mean, you can slide these seats forward, but as you can see, it's a bit tight for me in this third row with these seats in this position. Now, like I said, if you slide this seat forward, then that might be a different scenario. I don't know if I can do it from back here, I don't think so, but that might give me a little bit more space. And I think it should actually be possible, because so now I can just about sit in here. And whilst I'm here, check this out. I've got a USB for me over here, plus a cup holder and a little cubby box there, and likewise for my friend on this side as well. So not too bad. So how about if I just literally walk into the front here, push that seat back there. Gosh, we're having a bit of fun. Check out, they've got Isofix anchor points in these seats here. Not in the third row, but certainly in this row here. It doesn't appear to be in that one. And here, okay, so now what's happened, by moving that forward to give me space in the third row, I've compromised my space here. So once again, if I put it back into its furthermost position, now I've got plenty of leg room back here. No problem at all. Plenty of headroom as well, even with this huge sunroof there. And back here, I've got, you know, little compartments. Here, another one down there. Over here we've got AC controls and heated seats. You don't need heated seats in our region, but we've got them. They're right there. We've got an actual plug socket right there and 2 USBs. This thing has 6 USBs, 2 in the back, 2 here, and 2 in the front. And talking to the front, let's get into there. So here we are at last in the front of the car. Check this out. This looks pretty upmarket, doesn't it? I like this saddle brown leather. And what's this? A little bit of Alcantara style material here. I don't think it is quite Alcantara, but it's got that nice felt-like feel to it. Seats are quite nice. Check them out. Leather, of course. Top of the range car, this. But check out the little High Country logo that's embossed into the headrest over here. Let's start it up. So starter button, of course. And there's the screens. Let's check them out. They all come on. Logo on there. And press OK. Now this car does have full Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and all the rest of it. Let's turn the fan speed down with this button here so that you can hear me. Obviously it's trying to cool. Temperature's 29 degrees. And at the front here in the instrument panel, it's got quite a traditional one. It's got the analog dials, but the center screen is digital. And if I press the buttons on the steering here, I can scroll through all the features. So I've done about 430 kilometers and in 9.5 kilometer per liter. I'll have to work that out. It's not too bad. I'll have to work it out. I'll put it I'll put it on the screen. And still got 315 kilometer range left with just under half a tank. It's not bad at all, actually, if you think about it. And all the rest of it. So over here you got the stereo controls. The stereo control is actually on the back of the steering wheel. So volume control on this side and the programming control on that side. And what else you have is the cruise control. Now on this thing, it's got normal cruise control and active cruise control. So for normal cruise control, you press that one, and then for active cruise control, you press that one. It's got heated steering wheel, and that's just to set the distance from the car in front when you're using active cruise control. It does have lane keep assist and all of that as well. So like I said, full screen, I'm not going to go too much into it, but it does have 360 camera, which is very handy, and very handy the fact that you can just punch the button, don't have to go into reverse, punch the button and there it is straight away. So that's very, very useful, and you just press the home button to go back in there. Pretty good stereo, got navigation. Down here are all the AC controls, and there's your USBs and a lighter. Power supply, let's call it a power supply. Down here, with those wireless charging phones, if you've got one of those, you can leave that there and it will charge. A couple of cup holders here. This stuff's good. This is like the terrain, so it's not really a terrain select because it's manually adjustable. I've got it in 2-wheel drive, and you just turn it over to go into 4-wheel drive. All-wheel drive, and then you go into that, into a proper off-roading, you go into the last one, and then if you want to tow something, you press it once more, and it goes into the tow one, and then to bring it back, it just goes one more, and then there you go, back into 2-wheel drive. Traction off, and there's your lane keep assist as well, which I think I turned off anyway. Electric handbrake and your 9-speed auto. Over here, big old cubby box with a tray. There you go. And then room down there. Somebody's got a cup down there anyway. But yeah, there's quite a deep compartment down there. Shows you that I haven't used it so far. Generally, very nice and very spacious up here. Over here you got, and over here, this is quite good because this is the button for the tailgate, and you can actually set the height of the tailgate. So if it's too high for you, you can actually set it from there and tell it where it should actually stop. All user controls there. Again, nicely done, all this leather. Nice sort of wraparound feel to this environment. And, you know, you do sit quite high in this car. You do feel like you're piloting quite a big land yacht around in this thing. Pretty wide C-pillars on this, so the blind spot could be an issue, but it does have, I don't know if you can make it out, a blind spot sensor there as well, so that's quite good. I think, to be honest, next thing to do, enough rabbiting, let's go for a drive. So, a ton of torque from that 3.6 litre. Sounds good too. V6. That's incredible, actually. I mean, you know, remembering this is a big old beast, and I tell you, talking about whoa, talking about being a big old beast, it feels like a big old beast. I gotta be absolutely honest with you. This car, it actually does feel pretty much like a slightly smaller. Oh, don't understand. Cutting wide. Whoa. Oh my God, it does feel like a slightly larger or a smaller brother to a Tahoe. But you have that Tahoe sense in here. You're sitting quite upright. You've got a big, expansive dashboard in front of you. You feel imperious. You know, you've got good visibility around you apart from the C-pillar. But at the front, and you've got a bonnet that just, it's almost going out straight and giving you that sense of, oh, I've got a lot of metal around me. So people that like that sort of thing, if you know, if that kind of thing is important to you in a car, then this one definitely delivers on that front. But I'm not going to drive it too much because honestly, it's not really what this car is about, is it? I mean, it's about the comfort. And talking of comfort, how is the ride? Well, the ride's really, really good. It does have that kind of American version of good, which is to say that it's a little bit floaty, a little bit bouncy, but overall it's very damped, very well damped, and it does a very good job of keeping you very smooth. There's no jitteriness, there's no fidgetiness. As you can see, it's very smooth right now, traveling at a good old speed, and even at high speed it's pretty smooth, but around town is actually very, very handy indeed. Around town is also, you know, quite usefully maneuverable and agile and reasonably practical. It is a big car, but the 360 camera does help in parking it in spaces and getting it around town if you need to. If you are intimidated by a larger car, then to be honest, this does feel like a large car. So just from behind the wheel, if you're like, oh, it's too big for me, then it probably is too big for you. Then maybe this is not the right one for you. But if you need the space and you need the comfort, you need... Whoa! Kick it, once it got down to those 9 gears, and wowzers, I mean, gosh, I don't even want to say what we're doing, but yeah, we're doing a lot. So... and again, you can see, you can feel that kind of slightly floaty feel to it, but you know, not like uneasy. It's not like it won't give you any seasickness or anything like that, but it just, you know, it just keeps it a bit floaty and quite smooth. Overall then, it's a pretty good car, and I think that, you know, really in terms of value for money, it's incredibly hard to beat. Let's be absolutely honest with you. Ultimate value for money, I would say, still remains the Tahoe, but this feels, like I said, like a slightly smaller Tahoe, but a slightly more modern Tahoe. So you got all the kit, you got all the features, you got all the safety features, and it feels like, you know, it's going to look after you. Feels economical too, as you've seen from the readouts there, and it's got auto start stop as well. So it's got all of these features. It doesn't have cylinder deactivation though. So overall, I think it's a pretty good car. Definitely one to put on your shopping list for that sort of price point. If you need something that's big to lug the family and all their kit around, you definitely got to put this on your shopping list and go check it out. That's our review of the Chevrolet Traverse. Hope you enjoyed that. Please let us know what you thought of the review and the car in the comments below and elsewhere. And also, please do follow us on motoringme.com and check us out on all the social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please do like, share, and subscribe. And what? Follow me as well. I'm on Instagram. It would be fantastic to see you there. Can't wait to do the next one for you. Until then.